Good morning. When this comes out, it'll be Tuesday. Wish I had a crystal ball. This is my last episode on YouTube for 2020. And then I consign my glasses to the Halloween heap. This is 1 year I don't want to do over. They can keep 2020. I don't care how clearly I've seen what's going on in our country. No siree. I get my 2021 glasses, and I hope that that's going to give us new hope and new wishes and new community spirit to elect government officials who care about us, all the Americans in this country, not a few of us, but all of us, 330 million, documented, undocumented, we're human, and we deserve to be treated with decency, respect, and we deserve to be seen. That isn't what's happening today. What's happening today is we're an unequal society, and we know it. The GOP in the Senate, it was a big deal to pass the relief bill. They don't get it. Relief for the lower and middle class means spending. And what we need is to be able to spend. Doesn't serve any great benefit for the lower and middle classes not to be able to have Christmas properly with their children, to have to rely on food stamps that may or may not be adequate, to wonder what's happening next since the pandemic is raging and 3,000 people are dying a day. Many can't go out. Many don't have jobs, and their unemployment benefits expire. Their SNAP benefits expire. And we know the limitations of Zoom and online learning. We know that education is unequal too. And we know healthcare is unequal. As I'm speaking, I'm reading that there are folks who are cutting the vaccine line. They're getting their vaccines, even though they're not in the first responder line or the healthcare worker line or the nursing home line. I know. I've read it in the papers, and a young woman who I've been friends with for 25 years has just come down with COVID. She's part of the healthcare workers. The vaccine didn't come in time for her. I'm hoping to speak to her later to see how she's doing. So as I speak, there are rapid tests available. The government purchased them, 150 million of them. I never saw a rapid test from Abbott. Did you? $5 a day, that's what they spent. I figured out it probably was half a year's supply because that's when those tests became available. They look elegant, like a small card that you would place on a table, no bigger than a credit card. Very unobtrusive. And they let you know if you're positive or negative for COVID. Wouldn't that be nice if all of us were empowered? I think maybe those elegant tests, those rapid tests that I have been advocating for since I read about them in July, They've evidently been available since May. Perhaps 750,000 people got them, and it cost the government $1 billion to give everyone in this country a rapid test, whether it's a nasal swab or a saliva test. There are about 9 or 10 ready to go with 99% accuracy and efficacy. And what would it cost? $450 billion for 100 days. Enough for all of us to be empowered at home, use the test or not, and decide whether or not we're going out if we have COVID. I would bet that if you tested positive, you'd stay in, and the outbreaks in this country would be over. It would be a great way to go while we're waiting for the vaccines. They're coming up. I'm on the second list for 75 and older. However, at the rate we're going for distribution, it might take us 6.5 years. By that point, we'll be into the next pandemic. So we've got a lot that we've seen. We've seen inequality in healthcare. We've seen inequality in jobs. We've seen inequality in connectivity and Wi-Fi. But I guess there's a bright side. If you're too poor, then you don't have to worry about being hacked by the Russians. If you're really a Fortune 500 company, or you're the Department of State, or Health, or Warp Speed, or a Secretary of State on voting, well, you could have been hacked. Those of us who don't have great connectivity, or maybe too poor to even have a desktop computer or a laptop, don't have to worry. The Russians are not interested in us. So I guess there's a bright side to being poor. There are also many other bright sides. If, like me, I'm able to still speak to you on a weekly basis, I count that as a real plus, because having you, my dear followers, has made me very grateful. I miss the contact that I had on Periscope when people could speak to me in person and I could respond to their questions. That to me was sheer pleasure. As I speak to you in my home, I only imagine you out there. But one thing's true. I speak only about facts, only about events that I've read about or know from personal experience. If anyone wanted to know what the Russians were up to, all they had to do was read the espionage literature that I read. BALDACCI and the latest Atlee Pine book, Daylight, all about compromising other individuals in high office for political or economic gain. The last Carré novel, and Jean Le Carré must have known that he was not going to be here for long because he rushed it out, agent in place. And that too is about the Russians and their capacity for duplicity. Let's not blame the other countries. The Cold War hasn't ended. Let's see what happens. In a couple of days, it's going to be a new year. And with a new year, a fresh wind will blow, and we should have great hope for our future, because we know what the problems are, and we have the talent and the manpower to solve every one of them. We just got to make sure we elect people to government who have the same desires and wants that we have, that they are for us, all 330 million of us, that they want us to live, to thrive, and not just survive. And they're willing to tackle the problems to resolution. That's my resolution. I don't want to have to say woulda, coulda, shoulda ever again. I want to say this is what's happening, and thank God, because we, the people, deserve a bright new future. And we've got the tools to make it. So vote. That's the only way we can assure that we get a new and committed administration to us. And if not, we'll vote again. We'll vote again and again and again until we have a Goldilocks government for the people, by the people. We can do it. It's happened before. So take care of everyone, and God bless you. Nothing depends on one of us. It depends on all of us. United we stand. God bless America, and God bless you. And let's have a happy 2021. See you next year. Bye now.